Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Eric Coffin. I'm speaking to you from the January 2020 Metal Investors Forum in Vancouver. I'm here with Mike Konnert. He's the CEO of Vizsla Resources, a company that I follow. Vizsla is exploring a very high-grade silver-gold project that they picked up late last year in Mexico. You picked up an entire camp here.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your work cut out for you. I guess you recently started a drill program, but I noticed you made a point in your presentation of mentioning that you've got, 10 geos, is it, in the field?
That's right. We've doubled our team. So we have 10 geologists, a very healthy helper staff from local communities, and all the supporting staff, the GIS and the like. So we have a very strong team and very strong presence in Mexico.
Now, you started drilling a week or so ago. Can you tell people, what the objective is, what the scale, size of the program is?
Absolutely. So we've just started a 14,500 meter drill program. I want to be clear that that's actually discovery drilling. So what we're going to be doing is using the drill rig to go prospect for new ore shoots outside of the Animas vein, and we will be doing some drilling on the Animas vein underneath the water table as well. But we feel quite confident and quite excited about the potential outside of the Animas vein, which was responsible for about 90% of all production in the area.
And we won't bother with the ins and outs of the agreement, but the deal that Vizsla has is to acquire 100% of what is, it's essentially a producing silver camp. I mean, the mine is small, but there is actually a producing mine on it. It's permitted. Mm-hmm. Everything's there. It's just a matter of whether you want to make the large back-end payment, and to make that decision, you're going to be and are being pretty aggressive about building out a resource and deciding whether it's something that's going to work.
Exactly. So we have a 2-year window basically that we paid some money up front, and allows us to essentially do due diligence through exploration. And if our suspicions are confirmed that this is a world-class silver district, we'll make that final back-end payment to the tune of about $41 million. But that encompasses everything you need to be in production, including permits, agreements, all the equipment, a mill, and the infrastructure is fantastic as well. There's a highway that cuts through it. There's high-tension power directly to the site. It's probably one of Mexico's better appointed projects, I would say.
And, we should probably highlight, I think it's worth highlighting the grades. I mean, as my subscribers, I'm not really a silver bug, so for me to get interested in a silver project, the grades have got to be pretty high. And certainly Panuco, Vizsla's project, fits the bill there. You want to give us just a couple of highlights from
Sure, yeah.
recent?
So some of the channel samples we've done on underground workings, so they're mined out workings where these fellows have stopped mining. Some areas we found as much as 4 kilos of silver over half a meter. That was at the San Antonio. At the San Carlos, there was about 3 meters of 1.2 kilogram silver equivalent in that mine. The Descubridor, which is an old working that we found about 6 kilometers away to the west from the Animas vein, is about 5.5 meters, I believe, at 850 gram per ton silver. So high grades, sometimes double, triple, even quadruple or more the average grade of Mexican silver production. So it's really stands out.
And one thing I always like to see with an explorer, obviously, is news flow, and there's not much doubt. I mean, it's not just drilling, but you do have these 10 geos out, like you've got, because this entire camp, it really wasn't mapped or anything, right, when you guys showed up.
No.
and one thing that's interesting to note is a couple of days ago, Vizsla did actually announce the discovery of a new vein, and I was personally surprised at how close it was to the Animas vein, which is sort of the main historic production area. Like it's very close to it.
Yeah.
And like you showed a picture in your presentation, the spot where you guys zeroed in on, it's basically right next to the highway.
Yeah.
I would have thought anything like that would have, not only been sampled, but that somebody would have stuck a drift on it, but there's no real evidence of that.
No, there's no evidence, and it hasn't been, where it wasn't in any of the maps that have been compiled, and it certainly hadn't been reported to us, and there's been no production. So that was brand new, probably after, I think one of our geologists down there discovered it after about a month in the field during the mapping and sampling program. I'm confident there will be other discoveries to come.
Okay, so that's, Vizsla, of course, you're fully financed. You just did a $6 million
Right.
financing.
Yeah, we just raised $6 million right before Christmas with no warrant. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So Vizsla, VZLA on the venture, fully financed, 14,500 meter drill program, several crews working at the same time to make new discoveries and mapping new drill targets. Should be constant news flow, very, very high grade silver. And one thing that I've mentioned to Mike before is one thing I like about Panuco is it reminds me of some of the other really good silver camps in Mexico where your silver equivalent isn't silver and 24 base metals. It's silver and gold.
Yeah.
And I think you're 65, 35,
It's
something like that?
It varies at certain points, but it's pretty much on average 65% silver and the balance gold.
So, which I think is just a great combination in terms of mineability, reproducibility, and of course recovery in the mill. Great story, tons of news flow to come. You definitely want to be paying attention to this. A lot of people are already, if you look at the stock chart, but I think that's probably just going to continue. Vizsla Resources. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.